What is up, people? Tyler Kiwala. Feel free to unmute your mic and join in on the fun.
Hang on a second,
Uh-oh.
because I don't have, unless,
Are we
so
having
my,
technical difficulties?
yeah, it's not working on YouTube.
Naturally.
It's
There's
not, we're not
probably
live.
no, there is. It's just a different link.
Oh, it's a different
It's
link.
yeah, because remember I was trying to set it up with I had to, when I shut Twitch off, it erased all my data. So I'm blaming Alara. She's the one. You can set it up and click select event and it'll go.
Well, we need to share out a new link because everybody's in the chat on this old link.
All right, let me give it to you. Hold on. Tell them to go. Swoop.
I'm gonna post a new link in this. Well, they
Oh,
know where to find it on YouTube.
all right, it should be popping up. There you go. That's the new link.
Where'd you send it at?
Telegram.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let me know about that stuff.
Well, I just found out, Tyler. We got it together now. I see people starting to filter in.
Yeah, hang on. I'm trying to try and put this link in the other chat. If it might not even let me share a link.
It went up on DLive, all right. Let me check the Foxhole. Let's see what's going on the Foxhole.
Guys, if you're listening to this, there's a new link on YouTube. Go. I
Fred?
just tried to put it in the chat, but it's not showing up as a link.
Yeah.
Of course, but just exit out and go back into Loyal to the Foils page.
Yeah.
And
Well, we're up on DLive. We're up on Foxhole. I have no idea about Rokfin. I will figure that out at some later time. Other than that, welcome to Conspiracy Theory Trivia with Loyal to the Foil and our favorite Tyler Kiwala from Journey to Truth. What is happening?
what's up? What's up? Sorry, I'm just trying to still get people on this other chat aware that we are.
Let me go over and see if I can figure out what the hell's going on over here.
Sorry, guys, for the technical difficulties.
Yeah, I added some new platforms. You guys know I'm up on Rokfin now. While I'm thinking about it, go over and check out the Rokfin. You can make a free account. There are a lot of really high quality content creators over there. And what's nice about it is you can make the free account, follow who you want. If you subscribe, like if you subscribe through me, right, you get everybody's premium content on the platform also. Jason Burma, Slow News Day, DW Truth Warrior, Sam Tripoli's over there. There are a lot of really good creators on Rokfin, so go check that out. I have no idea if it's working over there, but
What's up, Matthew Mornian? What's going on?
right. Welcome to the live streaming madness.
Any people in the chat? If well, I don't even know if the other link is still up. Can you go to the other chat and let people know to come over here?
Yeah, I don't even see it. No. But let me see who is over here. Picoso, Successful Sarah, Lynn, what is it? Yale? Lynn Yale, hello. You got folks stuck on the other link. Lynn, if you could go over and drop this link over there, that'd be great. Taylor Osteen, Lori Greeny, Allison Neal, Patrick, what is good, you guys? The
Wait, what are
schools.
you?
I'm looking at
What are you reading?
the new YouTube? Cat Spotter, hello. Hello, friends.
What? All these people are in the new YouTube chat? I don't see it.
Yeah. And look, all the DLive peeps are here. Rainbow Snuggle Fritz, Solrico, Morning Flower, Earthbound Misfit. What is up, friends? Oh, T. Roy Cooks. What is good with you? Yes, DLive for a second night in a row. Yesterday was kind of the launch party. Tyler and I were playing this game the other day. It turned out to be freaking phenomenal. So we decided to make it a thing. Before we even start doing all that, dude, I want to know. You made a comment yesterday about, the word on the street is you were kicking some alien ass. Tell me about this.
Well, that happens all the time. I
Oh,
mean,
well, of course it does. You're the master, bruh. Tell us
well,
about
not
this.
sometimes it's not all that fun, and I'm being for real. Like
Oh, I can imagine.
there's real attacks, spiritual, psychic entity attacks that do happen when you're doing this work. But I had an experience the other night. I don't know if it was a memory or an experience. It sure the hell didn't feel like a dream, but it might have been where I was. So I might as well just tell the whole thing and then we can
Oh,
get started.
start from the beginning.
All right. And so I don't know where we were, but I was on. I don't know what timeline, but it seemed like Earth, and I was on this plane and a plane, but I was riding passenger in the cockpit next to the pilot, like co-pilot, and we were getting ready to take off. We had to do an emergency takeoff from this airport. But I remember looking out the window, seeing like other craft leaving. Not they weren't like anti-gravity UFO, but they were like futuristic looking ships that like we've seen in movies, but not really in our airports. But there was regular commercial airliners and these other craft that were going to like a known space station, but it was like using a still like a rocket propulsion technology type of thing. Anyway, so we were taking off an emergency takeoff, and this whole plane just starts going freaking. The pilot loses control, and we're about to hit the freaking building, and he pulls out of it, and we're about to hit these trees. We're all over the place, and he finally gets it under control, and he gets the call over the intercom. Is like, all right, we an emergency stop, no fly zone, blah blah blah. So we were flying over this canal, and apparently, anytime there was like this huge tanker. I don't know what it was going through the canal, and anytime it goes by, it was like a no-fly zone. So he was like, "Shit!" And he had to turn away and do and land right away. But instead of landing, he like flipped a switch, and we just like hovered down and started floating above the ground. And I looked at him and I said, "I knew there was anti-gravity tech in these airplanes." And he looked at me and he's like, "Yeah, but we're only allowed to use it in emergencies." I said, "So all these planes are retrofitted with anti-gravity tech?" And he's like, "Some of them, and mostly military, but mostly all military vehicles are. But we can't disclose that." And I was like, "I knew it." I don't know why how I knew that. So we were hovering there, landing, and he was like, "This is why we couldn't. This is why we couldn't fly." And then he showed me this tanker coming through this canal. And I was like, "What is that?" And it's like, "I don't know, but anytime this thing comes through, it becomes a no-fly zone." So while we're hovering, these literally like these reptilians hijack the plane. They come onto the plane somehow. I don't know where they came from. They're just like beamed on there, and there was a humanoid one, looked more human, but he had a ridge. I could see him clear as day. He had scales. He had no clothes on, but it was more like he was like almost like armor. I don't know. And green. He had the white, like kind of like white around the eyes. It was very Hollywood looking, I would say, but it was like eerie, and it was humanoid. And then in front of him, I would say there's these little like attack like minions. I don't know what they were. They weren't really intelligent. It would be like the equivalent of an attack dog. Like they would send out the dogs or whatever. So they were like a form of reptilian, but they had like a longer snout and they had these like really sharp teeth, and they were coming and just taking out people, and they were getting to me. And when I saw both of them, I recognized them from some. I'm like, I've seen these before. This is like I don't know if this was an experience or a dream or what. It was like really happening to me. And I'm like, I know, I've seen these, and I know how to take these guys out. Like, and I knew exactly what to do. As soon as he's coming for me, like they were killing everybody, I knew I had to grab the jaw in just the right way, and like I could snap their neck back, and it would take them out. So I was like fighting these reptilians, actually taking them out, and then the humanoid one starts walking towards me, and then like it did something to my mind, and it paralyzed me. Like I couldn't move. Like it did something like telepathically. And then I woke up. I woke up from whatever experience it was, but it didn't, it might have been just a dream. But it sure in the hell, like
Felt like it was.
when I have a dream, like, like it was a dream, when I know the difference between a dream and an experience. I felt like it was more of an experience. I don't know what it was, but it was crazy. So that
That
was
is
my
that's
story.
wild. Thank you, Miss Lizard Breath. She says, just want to say congrats with the new show. It's going to be a blast. Much appreciated and much love. Um, Damn, Tyler, you be sleeping like that?
Yeah, I do.
That sounds like a horrible story. You
I
know,
have worse.
oh gosh, I can imagine. Like I always tell Alara, you just come get me out the bunker when it's over. Like, ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Like,
Well, I do, couple of real quick while I'm on it. A couple of weeks ago, I woke up extremely confused. I was sick. I was so sick. I didn't know what to do. Like I didn't know what was wrong with me. I woke up sick and confused. Everything was foggy. Like it felt like I just drank a freaking bottle of NyQuil. Like I was just
right.
couldn't get up. And I felt horrible. And I was just like, what happened? I'm like, I came up and told my roommates, I was like, something happened to me while I was sleeping. And I was sick. I was on the toilet. I was like trying to throw up. I was taking medicine. I was fatigued. I couldn't even move. I ended up going to see my Reiki healer, and she's like a seer. She's like a galactic Reiki. Like she whenever I have experiences, she can usually tap in and see what happened. And I told her about it, and she tapped in. She like put her hands over my body, and like she's like, there's two reptilians in the room right now with us. She said you were attacked last night, and they're here. They know they don't want me to be working on you right now. And she's like, I can hear them. They're like almost like slithering like in my ear. She
Maybe they incepted you. Like maybe
so
it
what
wasn't an actual experience. Maybe they,
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like
Some It
maybe they
wasn't like
incepted
it
you.
wasn't physical. It wasn't physical, but
Right.
somehow it happened in another
Oh,
dimension or something. But anyway, and then she saw what they were doing to me, and like my Reiki healer, she starts crying like over the table in the room to me. She's like, "You don't want to know what I'm seeing right now, what they're doing to you." And she's crying, and she's like, "Oh, honey, we need to put you back together." And she was describing to me what they were doing, like, but I don't know how it works because it wasn't in my physical body. But she saw clearly, whenever she said, "You're full of radiation," and she's like, "That's probably the sickness that you're having. It's like a
right.
radiation sickness." And then I had a side note. I had someone else, another healer I know up in the British Columbia area. I reached out to her and asked her if she could look into it. She told me the same thing, not even knowing this other healer. She's like, "You have radiation poisoning." And that's what she saw. And my Reiki healer, she had to like go ahead and like energetically remove this or whatever. She said that they were like, I don't even know if I want to repeat it. It was actually horrible. But whenever she was telling me, it was like I was starting to relive it. It was like a real serious situation. It was
Sure.
not,
I get you some
yeah.
extra crystals and whatever it is. How do
Yeah.
you even what do you even, I mean, I prefer threats I can see and preferably maybe punch or shoot if necessary. Like, that's why with my house being the way it is, like I've gotten scratched and stuff. It choked my dog. You know,
Mhm.
I know that I can reclaim my space and push it out, but it's still freaking terrifying.
Yeah.
It's still an absolutely terrifying experience. But like
Yeah. Well,
that's the scariest shit is the shit you can't physically you feel like you have no control over.
Yeah, all I know is I woke up feeling like death, and I knew one. It was like when you have something on the tip of your tongue, but you can't get it out. I knew something happened to me. I just couldn't remember. Like I was like, it was just right on the edge of my memory. I couldn't get it out, but I sat
Shit,
there and I
sometimes
sat
it's
there.
better maybe
Yeah.
that you don't
Well, when she
remember.
described to me what they were doing to me, it was absolutely horrific. If that really was the case, but
That is
anyway,
wild.
let's get into the game, huh?
Let's get into this, right? Speaking of aliens, this actually
Oh wait, sorry. Laura wants me to introduce the other co-host. Or is that what you're talking
oh
getting ready to
yes,
do?
by all means, introduce
First of all, she
him,
said
she, her. What I don't know what gender that thing is. Feel free to introduce it though.
any pronoun you want to use. Uh,
There are so many choices. I just don't know. There's like 70 of them now.
did you see that video where that girl like was identifying the pronouns that she used, and she
The
was holding her
cat
cat,
smacked.
and the cat smacked her? Oh my god!
Yes.
Uh,
I would pull it up. I don't even know how to even start to look for that. That shit was funny.
Laura says, "I'm not sleeping at Tyler's place like ever."
Right? Never ever. Where is she
Uh,
watching on? You tell her the YouTube didn't work, Alara.
no, I don't have a name for this little guy, so it's one of these things you put out in your yard and it lights up. It's like the equivalent of one of those Santa Clauses, but so
Oh,
that's
that
what I
guy's
put out.
awesome.
That's what I put out instead of Santa Claus.
Yeah, he's calling in his friends like down here,
Yeah.
guys.
Now I need a little voice box for him.
Right?
Little ventriloquist dummy.
I got a question for you. All right, since we're talking about aliens and considering what's going on right now, this actually explains a lot to me. Okay, so and I didn't know this, but according to leaked Snowden documents, the leaders of Iran believe the US is being ruled by which alien race? Is it the Greys, the Tall Whites, the Reptilians, or the Anunnaki? All right.
Well, that the leader of. Can you rephrase the
I'm
question? Because
gonna
I'm not
read the
gonna lie, I
question.
was reading the chat and I wasn't listening to the question.
This is not how we play, Tyler.
I know,
All right.
but I did.
Yes, okay. One more time for the people in the chat in any case. According to leaked Snowden documents, right? Edward Snowden, the leaders of Iran believe the US is being ruled by which alien race? Is it A, the Greys, B, the Tall Whites, C, the Reptilians, or D, the Anunnaki?
Anunnaki.
W-
I don't know actually because it could be any of them because there's each group. Like it could be reptilians. I've heard of negative tall whites. It just what do they say?
Oh, looks like some people on YouTube are with it. It's actually the Tall Whites.
That's what you know. What that was going to be my
I don't
first gut
trust
answer
them.
too. That was going to be my first gut answer
Aren't
too.
those the ones that Eisenhower? Did Eisenhower went to meet, or maybe did he make a deal with them? Or I mean, you would probably know more about this than I do. Those are the Nordics, yeah, the tall whites.
Well, yeah, yeah, and he went to go. Yeah, he went to go try and make a deal, but actually, I don't think that's how. That's not how it went down. Like he wasn't the one who made the deal. That was the negative deal. He was trying to work for a brighter future, basically. So they wanted to basically trade us technology in exchange for like abducting us
Ain't that what's
and
happening? Didn't he agree to
it,
that?
it, that's not what he no he didn't actually agree to that, so he was in the meeting. Actually, he was against that idea.
Because
He did
he did
not,
he disappeared for like 3 days, and he went out to some military base, and they didn't know where he was at. Right?
but
Whole
it was not him.
Wholesome Air Force Base somewhere,
Yeah,
something.
I don't remember exactly where.
So you're
uh,
saying that he was actually trying to help somebody out?
he was trying to, he didn't like the deal. He was actually against what they were wanting to do, and he was trying to be like the voice of reason, and they weren't having it, so they basically just did what they were going to do without him.
I see. I was under the impression that somebody came to an agreement, and they agreed that they would exchange technology for abductions and stuff, but it had to be tracked, and they had to put the people back, and the people couldn't remember, and then at some point it got out of hand. I also
Absolutely.
Is that
Absolutely.
what okay. So then I had also heard that they had gotten another offer from another race that they would give us technology if we would just stop uh, with the nukes, if we would stop trying to develop and expand and whatever. And they said no to that, and our government said no to that one too.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm sure there was tons of deals actually trying to be made. The only reason I was saying that is Laura Eisenhower has been defending that theory for a long time because she gets a bad rap because everybody, it's your great grandfather that is the reason we're in this mess. And she's like, no, that's not what he was doing.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
then
right.
there's been other people, Elena Denon has since like confirmed from her own information, like um, that's how she got in touch with Laura Eisenhower. She was getting a message to give, like, listen, we want you to know that we know it wasn't your great grandfather. We know he was trying to help humanity. It was not him who made that deal. And we want you to, like, we're just clarifying that for anybody who, because she gets a lot of hate mail for that, actually.
Yeah, well, listen. I have no doubt that it doesn't matter what the president agrees to.
Yeah.
Like, if shit's gonna go down, shit's just gonna go down. Like
Yeah. And
that's
if he would have went with their narrative, then yeah, it would have been all cool. But he didn't. He was going against it, apparently.
that's why he gave that speech when he was leaving. I mean, that
He
that
knew.
was probably one of the most well-known Eisenhower speeches, warning against the military-industrial complex and all that. That they were just out there doing whatever.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
crazy. They were doing all kinds. They were doing all kinds of messed up experiments. What, you got some info on it?
I do. I have this exact thing we're talking about is in this book. But while you're asking another question or talking to the audience, I was just going to try and find.
Well, this kind of goes along with it. I didn't know this until recently. So, what is the name of the government project that tested the effects of radiation using stolen baby corpses? And yes, this is a real thing.
There was a government.
Oh, yes. What is the name of the government project that tested the effects of radiation using stolen baby corpses? Was it A, Sunshine, B, Baby Snatcher, C, Infant Glow, or D, Lullaby?
I actually don't know this. I don't know if I'm aware of that project. What does the audience
I
say?
don't know,
What,
so I'm looking to see. Would you guys know what is the name of the government project that tested the effects of radiation using stolen baby corpses? As if people couldn't get any more frickin' twisted. Let's see. What up, Foxhole? Are you guys fox nuts again today? Oh, you missed the whole D's nuts mess yesterday. That shit was hysterical.
oh, really?
Yep. I see Golden Crisp saying sunshine. Death Meme says lullaby. Let me see what's going on over here. I got A's and C's. Lullaby, they're thinking. It's actually Project Sunshine, right?
Of course, the happiest one.
I
Yeah.
mean, right? They always try to make some shit sound like it's gonna be okay. Like this is not okay, bruh. Right? Project Sunshine was a series of research studies that began in 1953 to ascertain the impact of radioactive fallout on the world's population. It was initially kept secret, became known in 1956. Of course, it was the Atomic Energy Commission and Project Rand. Hmm. Those guys are always involved in some shit. But yeah, so apparently they literally were testing it on stolen baby corpses. Like, number one, where do you steal the baby corpses from?
Planned Parenthood.
Yeah, well, you would think, but I mean, this was in the freaking early 50s, early and mid 50s. I mean, yes, they had Planned
Well,
Parenthood, but
underground facilities. I mean, they were trafficking children. They were who knows.
I mean, that's just freaking wild.
Well, they
Uh,
can. Yeah, there's
Debbie,
a
let
whole
me,
hybrid program.
I can imagine. Debbie, let me find my Rockfin link for you. Hold on. I don't think it's even up on Rockfin at the moment, which is a mess, but it's all right.
And if you want to, I wish I could find this page. I'll find it. Don't worry.
Here we go.
Believe me, they were doing shit back then too. As far if they wanted a corpse, they could
I mean,
they,
how many baby corpses do you have to steal for a whole government project? Is what I want to know.
do we really want to know
Do
the
we
answer
want to
to that?
know? I know, right? I don't even know. That's freaking wild.
You seen the movie Jupiter Ascending?
I have it. I've had it on my playlist for the longest and have yet to watch it.
Well, that movie is like there's tons of disclosure, but especially the whole adrenochrome. That whole movie is about.
Oh, look. You see,
Oh yeah, the whole movie is a fight for adrenochrome,
fear and
really.
adrenochroming, right?
Um,
That's crazy.
they
I'm gonna have to watch that now.
they don't call it adrenochrome, but it's exactly what it is. They describe it and explain it, but they call it something else in the
Oh,
movie.
of course they
And
do.
it's like the most highly sought after thing in the universe, and like everybody's fighting over it. And like they say for one little thing of it, it takes 100 humans to get one little like vial of it.
Well,
And then he's explaining it to the girl, and she's like, "You mean to tell me it takes 100? What are they doing with all these people?" And he's like, "They're just telling you like what they're doing, basically."
man, these people are sick. These people are sick. It's crazy. Like I know China can produce it synthetically. So I mean,
And
do we really need to go there? Like, jeez. I mean, if it's that freaking important. Let's see here.
what if I'm looking in the wrong book?
You're this whole time just like I'm gonna find it.
I
I'm
have
gonna
so many of
find
these
it.
books around. I don't know. Um,
Oh, this is great.
sorry if I'm being a terrible co-host.
Oh, this is good. So the U.S. Defense Department is testing the use of genes from squirrels, okay, to give soldiers what super ability? A, faster climbing. B, better balance. C, better digestion of nuts. Or D, hibernation through the winter.
Hey, I
Faster
don't.
climbing? It's hibernation, like hibernation through the winter. Please explain to me what purpose does that serve? How is that a superpower? Being able to sleep. I don't need genetic manipulation to be able to sleep through the freaking winter. Like I'm a pro at that for sure. They felt the need to take squirrel genes.
My thought immediate is I immediately jumped to super soldier. They want these. They need these guys to be able to shut down for travel for an extended length of time, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, well, maybe stasis.
Yeah.
Stasis. You know, don't they always I mean, they want these people to be up. Weren't they also genetically manipulating them to need less sleep?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the freaking even the Nazis were on amphetamine. That was their superpower.
Were they?
Man, listen, Hitler was big on the amphetamine. His soldiers, yes, they took it. They took it all the time. It was a rampant problem with those guys. Can you imagine just a bunch of freaking geeked out Nazis? Like that is the literally the last thing on my list of shit to do is have to
If you
deal
want to,
with a bunch of
this
geeked out
book,
Nazis.
this book actually has a great history of Hitler and that whole agenda.
Well, I'm convinced he took his ass to Antarctica.
Oh, he did. They even show the map of the German base in Antarctica in this book.
Well, you remember, I mean, like I don't know if if I was talking to you about this or whatever, but like Admiral Byrd when he went, they said they were looking for
I can hear
bases.
you. Yeah, exactly.
That they went down there looking for bases. Whose bases? I mean, who do you think had a base down there? I don't
Well,
know if the Nazis built,
reptilians.
right. I was gonna say, I don't know if they built out their own bases or if they went down there and took over something that was already there or what the situation was with that. But that's where they went.
That's exactly where they went. If I find that map, I'll show you that too.
I mean, that shit is crazy. Oh, this has to be a joke. I'm gonna have to Google this and look. All right, ready? Tyler, this one's fun. Which country developed a gaydar machine in the 19 in the
I can't do it.
1960s? to detect homosexuals working for the federal government, right? Which country developed a gaydar machine in the 1960s to detect homosexuals working for the federal government? Was it A, the US, B, Canada, C, England, or D, Iran?
Iran.
You would think, right?
That's not fair. Some of these are just a guess. I have no idea. I
That's not
found
fair. I mean, what that's all we can do is take guesses, right? It was actually Canada. Oh yeah, look at this. Holy shit, they called it the fruit machine. I
that's
swear.
amazing.
I swear, Canada poured thousands and thousands into Fruit Machine, a wildly unsuccessful attempt at gaydar in the 60s. So for those of you guys that think these questions are just some random fuckery, they are not. Oh look, there's a lot of people that thought Canada.
Think about how, like, if you can prove that gaydar is a real thing, think about what else we can prove is real that people think we're just nuts about.
Man, people think we're crazy.
Yeah.
Like people literally think we're freaking crazy. But yeah, it was Canada. It was Canada.
So looking, I don't even know if you could I found that map. It's New Schwabenland,
Oh, yes. New Schwabenland. That's
and
what they were calling it, right?
yeah, Antarctica. And this book here shows it has a flag of that shows each German colony in Antarctica, and it goes into detail and like what they were doing at each base, and then which ones led underground, and which ones were like the reptilian bases, whatever.
Let's see if we can. What we got?
I could hold this up to the camera, but
Let me
people, it would
no. Let me see what you're looking at though, because I got some stuff up on the screen here that.
that it this
Yup, I got it.
you're not gonna be able to tell.
I
Yeah, if you
got
can
it.
find that.
Let's see if we can. Oh, this is wild. It says ufologists are always describing UFOs as originating in Antarctica. Some believe Atlantis may be hidden under the ice of Antarctica. Numerous nations maintain research bases down there. Like many other countries, Germany sent expeditions to the Antarctic region in the 19th and 20th centuries. The third German Antarctic expedition was led by Alfred Richter, a captain in the German Navy. Where did the map go? Hold on. Let me see. Oh, look at that. They got the little specks here on the flying saucer invented in Germany. Damn, they did that in 1941.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we're using rockets. Okay. Okay.
That's what. So this book talks about.
Let's see if I can get a better
Well,
picture of
this is
this.
1965, but it's still crazy. It goes back all the way.
Is
I'm
that
never gonna find what I'm looking for. You do know that, right?
right? But you
It's not
feel
even worth it.
you feel free to sit there and keep flipping, see what you come up with. Hold on, what
Well,
is
I mean,
this?
I'm still be. It's not like I'm still able to chime in here.
Oh, here we go. I found it. New Schwaben, the last German colony. Man, they had a bunch of them. That's wild. Germany, there's just something. Listen, even now, Germany wants the Nord Stream 2 pipeline from Russia, right? And
Yeah,
I kind of feel like maybe, I mean, Angela Merkel told Biden, like, hey, don't expect me to just co-sign whatever it is that you're saying. You know, that made me a little nervous. Do you know that Germany's biggest trading partner is China?
I did not know that.
Yes. Well, little random factoids like I just don't know. I don't know. You know, I love the German people. I don't know about the German government. I don't know what's going on over there. All right, let's see what's going on here. Okay. In 2018, what creature did a group of 33 scientists suggest was a direct descendant of organic material from outer space? Okay. In 2018, what creature did a group of 33 scientists suggest was a direct descendant of organic material from outer space? Was it the eye, the octopus, the star-nosed mole, or the pangolin?
Either the octopus or the star-nosed mole.
What do you guys think? Everybody's biggest trading partner is China, Patrick says.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? Right? Their Belt and Road Initiative is all bad. I don't know if they're willing trading partners at this point, but they're definitely done dotted as far as freedom goes. It
I
is.
know I know the octopus is extremely intelligent. That's the one that I first initially. That's what came to mind. But anytime they do that, it's always wrong. So
No, 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 no. You were right. It was the octopus. And it's funny because they actually had a, I mean, it was a study like that was co-signed by quite a few mainstream scientists, you know. Can you
yeah,
imagine
no,
you put your whole freaking career on the line to defend a proposition that 98% of your compatriots are going to laugh at?
hey, yeah, I mean, but if we need those guys out there doing that.
Oh, yes, we do.
I mean, we need the guys that don't care what other people are thinking because their research is leading into these conclusions that they can't ignore. We can't keep sweeping all this stuff under the rug just because it doesn't fit.
Look at Avi Loeb from Harvard, the guy that said a Muamua was a freaking intergalactic spacecraft. Like
Yeah, he's right.
yeah, yeah, I agree. He was, and people mocked him at first, and now what are you seeing? He came out and he put his whole academic career on. Like he said, I know, like I know people are gonna think I'm freaking nuts, but like this is what makes sense. And now we're getting all these disclosure videos. We're getting freaking Tucker Carlson is on Fox every month or so talking about it. I mean, I'm naturally we only get bits of the
Yeah.
insanity. It's not like we're getting
Can
anything near the whole truth, but
can we can we can you install on your Streamlabs Who Wants to Be a Millionaire music?
yep,
You know what I'm talking
we
about?
can figure it out, I'm sure.
Watch. I'm gonna play it and I want you to see if these people can hear it.
I, you got it?
Can you hear it? No?
Oh, it's in and out. I can
That's
hear
gay.
right. I was on a thing yesterday like do 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 do.
Um, did I just unplug something when I did that? Everything's still good?
Yeah, I can
We're
see you. I
okay.
can hear you. We're live. Yeah,
Good.
looks good to me.
Anyway, it didn't come. If you could hear it, it's funny. You could probably play it on your end. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire music 1 hour loop?
Jesus. Run it in the background the whole time,
And then is that your final answer?
right? I was telling Laura that yesterday. Like, is that your final answer?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, here's one. What is the name used to describe a person that was taken away and replaced by an identical looking fairy? A fairy twin, a remnant, a changeling, or an imp?
A changeling.
A changeling. A changeling. Have you seen the videos, the fairy videos, like the ones that look legit? The guy,
Yeah.
he had one in his
I've
little.
seen him. I've seen the real videos that from ESETI that people capture of fairies.
Do they look like? The guy had the one in the tree, like that was flying around in his freaking yard. I
I've
don't know if
seen
they're
it.
gonna show me.
I've seen it, but I'm not joking. I know people who've actually caught him on film at ESETI, and they have the footage out there. And you can't argue that what you're looking at
Is it a
does not.
creature or is it like a little ball of light or what?
It's more of a light being, but it's a fairy. I mean, it looks like a fairy, like a little tiny, just exactly like you would see a cartoon fairy. It looks just like that, but it's more of like an energy being, not like an actual physical thing.
this thing I'm thinking of, I had seen a
Yeah,
video
it
where the
looks
guy,
physical.
yeah, it
Yeah,
looks like a little physical thing, like a little, and they were not cute like Tinkerbell at all. Them freaking things was ugly. I don't know.
yeah,
He said he seems to have a lot going on up there. You guys got all kind of
everything.
stuff that happens.
Where I'm going this weekend is the same thing, but they have, I don't know.
You
He said
said
he
you're
has
going where?
board camp, Crystal Mine, Mena, Arkansas,
In Mena. Oh, you know what else went on in Mena, Arkansas?
the Clinton cocaine trafficking hub.
Hell yeah,
I know
right?
all about it. Yeah.
I wonder if there's still they can't possibly have found all that dude's money. Like there was just so
Well,
much of it that he had buried places and put in walls and done whatever with. Like I'm
yeah,
convinced I want to be a treasure hunter at some point. Some kind of a pirate or a treasure hunter.
that's why I watch Oak Island, even though I already know they're not going to find anything while I'm
They
alive.
think they're gonna find what up there? The Holy Grail? Is that what they're looking for?
They are, yeah, and well, they don't know religious artifacts. There's all these theories, but no one knows.
They think that as far as I understand, they thought the Knights Templar went and put because they those guys were over here like
Yes,
before.
they have concrete evidence of that now. They have evidence of people from almost all over the world being there on that island. They have artifacts that they can't explain. That go way that date back farther than any human should have even been in North America. And they're finding this out on History Channel. They're disclosing all this stuff. They're showing the artifacts. They're linking back to
What
these
is going
people.
on with the History Channel?
But regardless, um, I don't know, but I do know I've had somebody, Margie Kay. She's a famous remote viewer here in St. Louis. She's remote viewed. She's found like 50 some odd missing children for the FBI, and when she explains her stories, it's absolutely incredible what she's able to do. I told John Vivanco about her, and he's like, "That's not remote viewing. What she's doing is a gift that she has. She's able to send her consciousness somewhere and see and hear exactly what's going on and then tell you what's going on somewhere else." John's like, that's not remote viewing. Remote viewing, we have to like triangulate and you have to get a feel and you kind of get shapes and stuff. But she's actually seeing exactly what's going
She
on.
bilocates.
Basically, yeah. And when she tells her, I mean, it's incredible the way I mean, it is. I'll just tell you real quick. I don't want to waste time, but so she would find, like, as far as finding a missing child in one particular case, the FBI, whatever, the good guys, I guess, hired her. And what she does is she taps in, and they knew this house, they had the suspects. They couldn't prove anything though, but they were suspicious of these people taking this child. They had already searched the home, questioned the people. They had nothing to keep going. The parent of the missing child called Margie. She's like, "Can you please help? Can you look into this?" So Margie remote views the house. She hears the conversation of them waiting for them to come pick up the child, and they're basically waiting for the van to come to pick up the child so they can get paid and make the exchange.
Right.
And she overheard the conversation. She could see in the room. She's like hovering there, and she heard them. The kid was in the shed, tied up in the shed in the backyard. So she calls the police. She calls the FBI. She calls her team. She says, "Hey, you need to go back to this house." And they're like, "Ma'am, we've already searched this house." She goes, "No, you need to look in the shed in the backyard." And since they trusted Margie because she had found so many missing children before, just on her word, they went back and questioned the people. They ended up looking in the shed and found the girl tied up in the shed. And as the police were there, the pickup van showed up and they busted those people. They literally intercepted this exchange just in the nick of time, because they were getting ready. What they were going to do is give them the girl and they were going to get paid. And it was just like some local bums this is what they did, right? This is how they trafficked the children. But she does stuff like that for people. She can look at your body and tell you if you have a bone fracture, this or that. She can tell you if you have implants, and she can and she's not wrong. Like people get X-rays, I'm like, holy shit, yeah. Anyway, she remote viewed Oak Island, and she said that she saw what we refer to as the Ark of the Covenant, but it's not like what we think it is. It's a technology that is being protected by reptilian forces, ET forces, that are literally why they call the curse. Like on the show, if you watch it, like something just mysteriously always goes wrong anytime they make any headway or somebody dies. It is an actual like force stopping them from ever making any real progress. So there, and she said, unfortunately, like well, she doesn't see it in this lifetime ever being discovered in our lifetime, but she sees it there, but it's not going to be discovered in this lifetime.
Now I've seen shows talking about the Ark of the Covenant, and what they describe is almost like, if you get too close to it, almost like radiation sickness.
Yeah,
Like there's
I've heard the
some
same thing. Yeah,
kind of like it houses some sort of a device,
yeah.
you
And
know.
then, yeah, I had a session with Ivan Teller, and you can ask any questions you want. And of course, people ask all personal questions. What's my mission? This and that. I did all that, but then I wanted to ask him or my higher self what's on Oak Island, and he didn't get it didn't come through as the Ark of the Covenant, but it was a technology that they were protecting, and it's not only to protect not only the technology. There's a reptilian base there, according to what came through this channeling. There's an underground base there, and there's what they're protecting more than the technology is a portal. Is a portal there that's underground in this base. I don't know if there's any truth to that at all. That's just what came through the session, right? So, but I mean, at some point you have to really start thinking outside the box, because if you watch that show like I have the entire time, like you really start to see like this is a massive undertaking to hide something. And these groups of people, when you trace them back and knowing the history that we know as far back as this goes, there could have been walking alongside ETs, and no, they very well knew of the existence of ETs back then. These groups of people, the Knights Templar and the Freemasons and everybody.
Man, listen. So, you know, they Edgar Casey had predicted that they would find um like a library of information and technology and stuff beneath the Sphinx, right? Like forever ago.
The Hall of Records, I've heard that's there
The Hall
actually
of
still.
Records, right? They Every time people go to we're going to look and do any kind of like research there, the Egyptian government eventually kicks them out. Not too long ago, the I don't know if he's called the Minister of Antiquities or whatever, Zawahi or Zaha, something. He's in charge of the entire program in Egypt. Well, he did a video where he found like a doorway going down under there. They admit that there's stuff under there now.
Mm-hmm.
So the crazy thing is, you're talking about the Knights Templar and them knowing that the stuff is down there. Strabo, Herodotus, Pliny the Elder, like these ancient historians wrote about going underneath the Sphinx, actually going to see the palaces that were underneath there. They wrote about it. Now, these aren't like woo woo wackadoo folks. Like, this is back in the day, and they're
Mm-hmm.
writing about this. The technology was down there. They described these like robotic, well, they said mechanical soldiers. These mechanical soldiers that protected like the passageways that were beneath the thing, like that they had gone down there and they had seen it. And they just won't tell us. Tyler, they just won't tell us. Like, it's not that they don't know that it's there. And if you're the Egyptian government, right, and you've got this world changing shit underneath, one of your primary monuments, I probably wouldn't tell anybody either, for fear that, like, I don't know, the US, Russia, whoever would go in and just try to swoop up. I mean, can you imagine the wars that would be fought maybe over some of the tech underneath of there?
Yeah.
Like, I don't I don't know if I'd tell anybody either, but it's really hard to reconcile the fact that we are just We have been lied to the point that we don't know what the hell's going on. Like we don't know what the hell is true anymore.
Yeah, we don't. And I know people have like gone to try and investigate underneath and find the Hall of Records, and they've like they literally don't find anything. And um, then they try and debunk it. There's nothing down here, right? So I just know that I listen to crazy stuff. I like to listen to channelings and stuff. And I've heard theories that it's actually exists in a dimension just next to ours. And you have to be like of a certain race or a blood type or frequency to even see it. Like it's just outside of our visible spectrum. The Hall of Records is. And I've heard that like maybe in the 3D, like if you or I were to go down there, like we could see it, but things have to be like aligned, like astrologically or something. Like it's like it's kind of like some of these portals only open up at certain times on Earth. It's the same way for like this Hall of Records. Like sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. This is just a theory that I've gone
Well, I
looked
mean,
into.
they were saying that they had like there were two guys from the US that were trying to film, I don't know if
Look
it
at,
was
sorry, Matthew Mornian said they know it's there, but it's a non-physical gateway and only opens under certain conditions. That's exactly what I just said.
well, I can see that. But I also know that they said that they found like they had seismic, they had taken, they had done readings where they could
Oh,
see that there was stuff under there,
yeah,
you
I
know.
do. I have seen that
They
too.
found
Yeah,
little doors. Like it's crazy. Like the Sphinx, what are they? They say it's like 4,500 years old. They
bullshit. It's
right.
way
It's
older
like
than that.
12 or 14,000. It's got
Graham,
water damage and shit. Like it had to be at least before the last ice age,
Yeah,
before it was a damn desert, right?
Graham Hancock thinks like conservatively speaking, 36,000 years old, and that's old
Well,
for
it's
this.
got to
Yeah,
predate if it for it to have water damage, right? The extensive water damage that it has,
hmm
right? I mean, we're talking before that shit was a desert,
yeah. It was a
which
tropical paradise.
yeah,
Yeah,
which would have been we at least before the last ice age, 40,000 years old. That's old. I mean, that's old.
yeah. I don't. I mean, I don't know. I just know I don't know how. I'd like to know how old it goes back, honestly, for real.
I mean, do you know how that like that would change everything? That would change everything. Just like we were talking, you
It
said that
would change everything if we found out the election results. I mean, fuck, we can't go back that far.
right? That's only a few months. Like, what the
Yeah,
hell, right? Yeah, they just, I don't know at what point we start getting the truth. Like, I really don't know. I don't know. It's crazy, but
right here, we tell
right,
people tonight.
right. This
Yeah,
is the truth, right?
yeah,
It's crazy. You said that they were finding shit on Oak Island, like from other cultures. I mean, we've got what ancient Egyptian stuff in the freaking Grand Canyon. The people that they're claiming were the Clovis people of North America are probably actually some other kind of European. I mean, there's stuff all over the place.
yeah. And they did find stuff in the Grand Canyon. I know somebody personally who actually his grandfather was one of the people who were actually on one of the expeditions that discovered one of the caves with the Egyptian artifacts in it. And he is only 2 hours from my house, and he has an actual map of some of the entrances in the Grand Canyon of the where they found these artifacts that have since been closed or blown shut by with dynamite.
I was gonna say, are they even accessible to the public at this point?
No, no. Even when they discovered them, he said like his grandfather would tell him that like even when they discovered them, it was dangerous for them to even go into. Like for anyone to even just to explore, it was dangerous because they were had already been like shit was already caving in then.
Right.
So yeah,
So I take it that these are. I mean, we know there are tunnels everywhere. Is this shit like completely uninhabited now? I mean, they just it's
I
got
don't
to
know. I
continue.
doubt
It's got to continue to go down. I mean, into the tunnel system that
it.
runs
Oh, absolutely, it
wherever
does.
else.
They didn't just they didn't just dig a little cave and like, oh, I'm gonna put this artifact here. That looks cool.
Right.
No, it goes somewhere.
Right. It's got to. Okay, here's a question for you. This is fun. Conspiracists claim that in 1943, the uncle of which U.S. president stole the plans for Nikola Tesla's time machine technology?
Oh, come on, that's easy. I'm not even gonna answer it.
Right?
Let the chat do
Was
that.
it Eisenhower? Was it Nixon? Was it Reagan? Or was it Trump? Right? Conspiracists claim that in 1943, the uncle of which U.S. president stole the plans for Nikola Tesla's time machine technology? Eisenhower, Nixon, Reagan, or Trump? Right?
At
Oh,
this point, at this
right.
point, if you don't know that question, you haven't very done much research.
It
You
look,
don't know that
yeah, it
answer.
looks
Yeah,
like everybody's pretty much on board here. They know what the
yeah,
hell's going on, right? And if you don't know, it was Trump. It was Trump, right? I mean, I had the Baron Trump books
yeah,
are just something else entirely. Like, I don't know. I was talking to a lawyer about this yesterday. Like, you have to assume that if at any point in the future somebody discovers time travel, then that means there must already be time travelers that are able to come here.
yeah. Exactly.
You know
They're
what I
already
mean? So
here
like,
checking it
yeah,
out.
like we were talking about John Teeter. That's what it was. We had a whole big. Somebody said, "Oh my God, I recognize Tyler's girlfriend."
That's this. Yeah.
Aw,
All right,
right,
sweetie.
right. You get her, give her smooches and get her something to eat later. I'm sure she'll appreciate it.
uh,
Wait, what the hell?
that's give her smooches.
Mm,
Give her something to eat. Yeah.
right.
Uh, what were we just talking about? I was going to add to it. Oh,
The
time
time
traveling.
travelers.
You know what I used to like whenever I was going through my awakening before YouTube was shut down and you could find cool videos.
I know,
There was
right?
there was these videos of these alleged like people time travelers, right? And they would like their face would be blurred out and they would say like
They
what
got
they
pictures
saw.
and shit.
Yeah, yeah. And I would always like to listen to those just because like why not? Like who's to say that they're not just literally like not even telling the truth, right? So I would just listen to it. I like to hear what they'd say, but I remember the one guy talking about he went all the way back and like was observing the dinosaurs and all this stuff, and I just
I
I
mean,
just found
weren't we talk? It was we were talking about the chronovisor last time we were on here.
yeah.
I mean, I can see it. Did you see the one with the guy that says that, he's, I don't know what year he said he was from, but like Los Angeles is underwater and he came back and he said he brought pictures of
Mhm.
it. Yeah, those videos are
Yeah.
great. I know YouTube is.
Yeah, and there was another guy who said that he lost his best friend into like a different timeline. The guy he went with, they were part of like this black budget project for the government, and his friend made a mistake. He said that he like they went into the future where like everything was digital and like there was virtual realities, and he like somehow entered this virtual reality and like couldn't because he did that he exited the program, like he wasn't able to go back to the timeline to come back to the program, so he was like
Man,
basically lost there forever. I
what
don't
would
know.
you do if you got stuck on the wrong timeline? Like,
Yeah,
how would you even manage that? Like, I don't know. I'd like Fry and freaking Futurama. You just wake up, wake up like
just
25,000 years in the future or whatever.
make the best of it.
I guess.
Yeah, find yourself an alien
I
girlfriend and
There you
just
go. You got it all figured out,
uh,
right?
I mean, honestly, like, could it be any worse than this shit right now? Just yeah, we're trying,
I don't
we're
know. You
barely
go into the
making.
future and there is no you get stuck on the timeline where Earth was destroyed by some sort of nuclear freaking catastrophe and there's nothing and now it's all Mad Max and shit. Like, I don't know. I mean, that might not even be much worse.
Yeah, I, I, I mean, think about those Mad Max movies and what they were trying to tell us. They were promoting a dystopian future, very much like they would like to see, right?
Man, I'm a fan of the dystopian future movies. I don't know that I particularly want to live through it. I mean, Tyler, shit is so crazy right now. Before we came on here, I was listening. I'm a big fan. I don't know if you're familiar with Ice Age Farmer, the Ice Age Farmer broadcast.
I do. I am familiar with it,
That
but I
is
don't listen to it.
that
Yeah.
is my dude. So, did you know? that in Oregon, right now, they've got a bill in their legislature that they're trying to pass that they say is to protect animal rights. Like it's an animal rights bill. They're framing it like they're trying to stop animal sexual assault and cruelty. But what they're defining as animal sexual assault is like artificial insemination of animals and uh castration, things that they do in animal husbandry. They're trying to I talk like one of my favorite things to freak out about is the attack on our food supply, like Bill Gates specifically. And I know the algorithms are probably going to come for me. Oh, nice, Tyler. I'm thank you for sheeping it up there a little bit, guy. Right? Uh Man, they are really trying to stop people from cattle farming or having meat. Like Biden said yesterday that I think by like what did he say? By 2035, they want to decrease the amount of red meat and just meat that people eat in general by 80%.
Well, they're already 3D printing meat.
Have you seen the video? Let me see if I can
Yeah.
find it
Yeah. No, I mean,
for
they're,
the people that may not know because I have of
well,
course whole freaking
what happens when you do that? Like, yeah, I know there's a whole thing, a movement against animal cruelty and eating meat. But what happens when we start eating fully synthetic food? What happens to the human? Like we're no longer feeding our body what it needs. You're feeding this transhumanism agenda at that point.
the shit is is estrogen full. Let me. I know I got the video here somewhere. Just it's terrible for you. Like the heme product, they don't even know. They don't even know what the effects of that will be. Like it's they won't tell any the heme specifically. They won't tell anybody what it is. It's supposed to be ah, it's
Sorry.
supposed to be based on it's supposed to be like plant hemoglobin, right? Which is
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not buying it, right? I'm not
No,
freaking buying it.
it's a bullshit word salad that they're trying to make us believe is necessary. It's not. There's no reason for that.
I got so many freaking Bill Gates threads and posts. I don't even know where the hell it's at. It's freaking disgusting, though. I mean, he like impossible foods and the uh-huh. Better take them Z's off that screen, son. Make me come find you, right?
Sorry, I'm having too much fun with that.
Alara had me on the one day, and I'm like, "What did you do?" I was like, "Does this thing have fake eyebrows? What the hell is going on? Like, you better leave my damn eyebrows alone."
Oh shit, that's
Right?
hilarious.
I
I
don't
do like I do like this one because it makes me seem woke. The hair.
right? It's official
Yeah,
now, Tyler. It's official.
yeah. I could keep this one going. I don't mind this one.
Right? Ah.
Sorry, I'm not trying to
Oh, here it is. Wait a minute. Here it is. For those of you that don't know, let's see.
somebody said maybe we won't need meat, Tyler, because we're trying to go to a higher dimension. Yeah, absolutely. That's very possible. Um,
Yeah, well, guess what? It ain't gonna be this shit. And there's a lot of us that I will happily ascend, but you better leave my steaks alone. Look at this. I got the video on the screen. I know you probably can't see it, Tyler.
hey, Biden, leave my steaks alone. What happened? You're muted. I
Oh,
can't hear
sorry.
you.
This shit just looks disgusting. Look at it. The fake fat that they put in
Yeah,
there.
I'm seeing it. I've seen these videos. Yeah.
We analyze the
And what's
different
even more
components
disgusting
that
is at the
make
grocery
those
store,
beautiful.
like the meat is not red, right? Like when you go to the grocery store, they have these things that these freaking what's I can't even think of the name, but it's simple
That they
whatever. They
syringes that they
the
inject
syringe,
the
thank
meat
you.
with.
Yeah. Syringe, yeah. They inject the meat with like it's a dye. it's like a red dye just to give it to make it look good for the shelf. And what's in that dye, I don't know. But
That's
like
it's
when you hunt wild game or anything, even or even a cow yourself, it's not red. It's always a brown meat. It's
right.
not red. It's not
Hmm.
naturally red.
Right. That's so great. In the first 2 quarters of last year alone, the fake meat industry, the profits of the fake meat industry went up like 288%. It's crazy
Mm.
because in the UK, right, they are killing any you get birds like chickens, any kind. Aw, are you prideful, Tyler?
Hey,
Hey, right,
sorry. This
Tylena,
oh, this is my gaydar eyes.
right, the fruit machine. That
All right,
shit was so
I'll
funny.
stop messing with this. We get back to business. All right, sorry.
Humor yourself, right? I don't know. I don't know. They want pigs. They want pigs in this country now. There are places where they've made it where you got to have like 24.
Oh my god, people are probably getting mad at me. They're like, Stop, so she can finish a damn sentence."
No, I'm sure they don't care. 24. They want you to have 24 square feet per pig.
Yeah, yeah,
How the hell
that's in order to be technically organic. You have to. It's for pig or cows.
they want it to be
No,
blanket?
24 square feet. I'm sorry, that's not much. Okay.
Well, if you've got 1,800 head of cattle, or if you've got 2,000 pigs, 24 square feet per animal is a lot. Like they're literally trying to shut down our food supply. Like I don't even
Well,
know. I don't even know, man.
I know in order to have an organic like cattle, or to put an organic label on it, they have to have like you have to have like 25 miles or something, not that much, but you have to have like something crazy per cattle for them to be able to graze and roam. And it's like certain stipulations they have to follow in order to be able to call this an organic grass-fed meat.
Right. Well, I mean it's fine if it's an option. Like, but they want to make it standard for the industry. Thank you, Miguel California, Omazon, and Debbie Roush for the donations on DLive. Much love to you guys. Much love to you guys. Um, it's crazy, dude. Somebody said, "Give me bacon or give me death." Listen, do you know that the majority of our pork is exported to China while we are importing our meat from Brazil? Like,
Well, yeah, there's that's a real thing. They will catch fish here, send it to China to be processed, and it's sent back here. That's not a theory at all. It's actually I forgot what company is doing that, but it's insane.
what is even the point of that? Like, the
It's business. It doesn't matter. It's business.
the
It's
way they
money.
mess with our food supply, the GMO products, the all of it, it's terrifying. Like I'm working on a video about ideological subversion, and they talk about attacking people's health, like being one of the primary ways that you try to get an enemy to subvert itself is by going after their foods. Going after their
Mhm.
foods. I mean, that's
Food and water.
man,
What are they doing to the water supply? All Bill Gates is buying up all this farmland. It's near a bunch of major water sources. They have something in mind. They know exactly what they're doing.
yeah, it's
They know,
about to be
just like these
Great Reset Agenda 2030 time. Like,
just like these experimental shots. Bullshit. They know what these shots are doing. They've known for a long time.
man, you already know. You already
They
know.
know.
Did
Yeah,
you
I
see
know.
the article that came out? I don't know if it was today or yesterday about the neurological damage that they think is now associated with some of the jabs. That
No,
there
but
is long-term. They've been, and as a matter of fact, uh, a certain pink pig friend of mine on Twitter had posted about an organization in New York that's been researching it and tracking it the entire time.
sorry, I had this pop my back. This is casual Fridays,
Right?
right?
Trust me, I'm with you. I don't know. It's crazy. But imagine that neurological damage, long term neurological damage because of this.
Well, it's funny because every day we're finding out something new, and it's not just a mild side effect. It's something that's affecting people for the rest of their lives. And
Can you pass it on to your kids?
yeah,
Is what I want to know.
well, I don't know, but
I
they're
don't know
saying
either,
they're
but
they're
I'm just
saying
asking.
now because of the shedding, like you can get side effects from somebody who's gotten a shot, and you don't even have to get the shot. They don't want you to have sex for 30 days after you have the shot because people are getting herpes from it. It's causing miscarriages. People are becoming infertile.
That was my initial concern was
Yeah,
infertility because I mean you got a dude and I'm gonna watch what I say right now, but you got a dude that has been his whole I mean admittedly his whole thing was
depopulation.
the whole time and just
Hmm.
and magically he's trying to save everybody. Like he ain't trying to save everybody. Come on now. Like ain't nobody got time for them lies. Like
You need to ain't nobody got time for that button,
right?
like a fake news button.
Ain't nobody got time for that, right? I got a sticker on here. Look, ain't nobody got time for that,
Thank you,
really.
Nikita T.
What did I mean? Oh, thank you. Much love to you.
Look how much nicer you said that than me. I was like, thank you. And you're like, oh, thank
Yeah,
you.
well,
Much love.
I'm sending my love to the peeps, man.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you guys being here. I,
Lay off. I'm starving.
are you hungry, Tyler? Right? Did I catch you at dinner time? I don't know.
Let's do another question.
Oh, here's one. You'll like this. Uh, what discovery proves that humans can feed off of another person's energy? Okay.
Hmm.
A. Alpha carrier waves. B. Plant eating algae. C. The secondary amygdala. Or D. Crystal psionics.
I don't know the answer to this one, but I'm going to say plant eating algae just because it seems weird.
You are correct, sir. You are
Nice.
correct, sir. I mean, imagine that plant eating algae. Like, I know some people that feed off other people's energy. Like, damn energy vampires. You can feel it too.
Oh, I
Like,
know.
like
That's a very real thing.
you can feel. I mean, wait, like we ignore so much. Like we're trained to just ignore the shit out of stuff from the time that we're little. Like, no, there's nothing in your closet. There's nothing under your bed. There's nothing talking to
There's
you in the middle
no
of the night,
there's no
right?
reptilians
Right?
attacking
They
you.
didn't take you. You didn't get abducted last night. It didn't happen. And you're like, yeah, 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 I'm crazy, right?
Hmm.
Well, I mean, just think about man, everybody's got somebody in their life that's like super freaking negative, and every time you're around them and they're on that negative shit, and you can just feel yourself like,
Yep.
like, oh my god, I gotta go, I'm gonna die, right?
Yeah, it's siphon. Yeah, that's all, and that's the whole narcissist empath relationship. These people find each other, and they're energy
What
vampires. You
kills
know,
me is you'll get them in groups. Like, what the hell are y'all feeding on? Each other?
mm.
You'll get groups of like negative people that just, and they're just all negative together. Like, y'all don't got a positive person among you. How does that even work? How
Well,
does it
that's
work?
when they they build themselves up by belittling others. So when they even just by talking shit on these other people, you're like you can actually psychically attack somebody just by thinking negatively of them. So they don't even know that they're fueling themselves by talking shit in the group. They're energetically they're still affecting that person's energy because you're putting it out there. So they're technically still feeding off of that person without the person even being aware of it. And that person could be fatigued all day, or they might feel like
Is
shit
that
or
what was going on?
something.
Whoever was talking smack yesterday, y'all need to just stop because I was
Yeah,
miserable
that was
all day.
a solar flare.
Oh my good, I could feel my body vibrating.
Yeah, that was a solar flare. No, that
Like
was
I
real.
was miserable. I was
Yeah,
miserable all day yesterday. It was horrible. Like I woke up like, what the hell?
yeah. No, energy vampires are real, and that's something that actually is they. I feel like they're sent into our lives to take us off our path and distract us because, especially if we're awakening and putting this information out, they they don't want us strong.
Well, I
So
mean, think about it. Like if you're a super positive person moving forward in life, right? And we know that there's shit that we can't see that's manipulating what we can see. You got to figure these negative people like something maybe it's got to be kind of urging them in your direction, or like you just come across them in the most s- strangest ways sometimes,
Yeah.
and they'll attach too. Like
Hmm.
they'll attach to you. Like maybe you meet somebody and they seem real cool for a while, and then like I don't know, a few weeks or a month later, you're like, bruh, where did you come from?
Yeah. Or it might not even be that. You just might start noticing that this person, you're not benefiting. There's no benefit in it for you to be friends with this person or something along, because you're like you start thinking like every time I talk to this person, it's a negative conversation or this or that. Like it's not even, and some of these people, like, bless their heart, they're not even
That's
consciously
what we
aware
say in
of
the
it.
South. Bless her heart.
They're not, but they're really not. Some people are really not consciously
And
aware
I
of
get
it.
that. I get
and
that.
and I hold space for people like that because of my childhood and because of the way I grew up, and I know people. I understand that type of person.
I
So
was that way.
yeah,
Like before my incident where I got snapped back to reality, like I didn't do it on purpose. But like things would be going so askew, and it felt like that was all I could do was radiate that craziness.
exactly. I want to address a comment really quick. Said Matt Smith said, "Stop with 11. It's Masonic." No, actually, the Freemasons hijacked that number. Any of the numbers that we've been taught that are negative numbers have been hijacked. The same with the pedophilia symbols. A lot of those are symbols of life and stuff that you can find in ancient cultures. Even the swastika. This stuff has
Yes,
been
I knew
hijacked.
that one.
Yeah, but even like 1111, there's no reason. It's all how you perceive it. It's like the real black magicians or the white magicians, whatever you want, whatever you want. It depends on who gets a hold of it. You can do whatever you want with that number depending on your intention. So if you're a positive
Right.
magician, you can make 1111 do amazing things. If you're a negative person, black magician, you could make 1111 work in your favor that way. The same with 666, that we're programmed to think that's a bad number. But if you really break it down, 6 plus 6 plus 6 is 18, 8 plus 1 is 9. 9 is a number of completion. And that completion could be to complete some negative agenda or the most beautiful agenda. It doesn't matter.
Preach it,
It's all how
Tyler.
you perceive it. And that's, we have to stop looking at that stuff like it's just so black and white
The
because it's not.
intention you set is what
Yeah.
matters. Thank you, successful Sarah. She says supporting you with love. She sends 1111. Thank you, my
Yeah.
love. It's the intention you set. Even in hoodoo, voodoo, witchcraft, whatever. Like there is no white magic or black magic. It's the heart of the practitioner. It's the
It's all about,
intention you
yeah.
set.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
Though
I was gonna I
that
was
was
gonna
my
make a
rant.
bad.
Go ahead.
Yeah. You said hoodoo, voodoo, witchcraft. I was going to say it's all about the hoodoo, voodoo, witchcraft.
Right?
369 are all great numbers. Yeah, Peter Slattery talks about that. Our even our mathematics, the basis for our mathematics is based in fives,
Yeah, to
5,
screw
10,
us
15,
up.
20 to screw us up, and we're designed that way. But 369 is a universal
Well, it's crazy
language.
you
Yeah,
mentioned that because we were talking yesterday about six fingers and six toes. Like think about it. If we had six fingers, like there were the Nephilim and all this
yeah,
allegedly has six fingers. If we had six fingers and six toes, our mathematics system would have automatically been based off of a base six system.
exactly. And that's why a lot of ETs actually have 3 fingers and 3 toes. It's the same thing, same difference. um 369, and that's actually the key to a lot of these technologies. Whenever you're basing our mathematics off of the number 5, there's actually, you hit a dead end at some point. You hit a dead
Right.
end and you get into these physics models that don't support base 10 math, right? You need the 369 to get to a certain point. It's total, like Nikola Tesla was. I don't know much about how it works, so I can't really do it justice. But I just know that something about 369, Nikola Tesla tapped into it. There's some key to that that allows us to tap into free energy, that allows us to travel in space,
Hmm.
that allows us to do things that our base 10 mathematics system doesn't allow us to do. And if we really were designed by these Anunnaki or whoever, and they designed us with 5 digits, that could have been the beginning of the manipulation, the beginning of the control.
Well,
They
actually
design.
that makes a lot of sense. Like if they
Yeah,
designed us with 5 fingers and 5 toes, if we've been genetically manipulated, right?
yeah,
And we've got occasionally people that are still born with 6 fingers and 6 toes. They found fossilized footprints, 6 toes, giants, giant feet footprints with 6 toes. Like they made us this way, but sometimes, sometimes maybe their code didn't hold and the trait passed down, and that's how people are born that way anyway. And
yeah, yeah, exactly.
that's crazy. And if that would make sense. They say the Nephilim had 6 fingers and 6 toes. If the Nephilim were the hybrids, right?
Mhm.
That would make a lot of sense.
Well, it does, and then it keeps us all. Even if we were to awaken, we're still limited because of our 5 digits. Like it's just like it's in our genetic blueprint that they don't want us. They didn't want us to ever really break free from this, right? But I got news for you. We're doing it anyway.
Anyway,
Yeah.
right? Like I
I
know,
just cut 2 fingers off each hand. What about that?
right?
Now what are
You
you gonna do?
you let me know how that works out, Tyler.
Yeah.
Let me know about the new
anything
math system you come up with.
anything about lucky number 13? Yeah, it's the same way. 13 is actually one of the most positive numbers. That number, you can go down some rabbit holes with 13, but it's like the luckiest number. It's not like Friday the 13th and all that stuff. It's not. There's
Well,
still buildings to this day that do not put a 13th floor on a superstition, but it's the same way. And there's a lot that says like it's
they
a
will
beautiful.
take things and twist it to be something bad to keep
Yeah,
us from ever associating with it.
exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
like
Exactly.
that's crazy. All right, so here's one for you. Okay, since we were talking about time travelers, according to a time traveler from the year 2070 named Noah, all right, what function do the microchips embedded in every time traveler perform? I did not know they had microchips. Apparently they do. What function do these microchips perform? It pays for things without money, it tracks their movements, it records video of their travels, or it limits their speech so they don't create a time paradox.
I have no idea, but I would just say I don't even know. I'm not even gonna guess because I think it could be all the above. Who the hell
I mean,
knows?
you would think, like, if you're going to send me back in time, you better put a chip that pays for everything with no money, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, what the hell do you want me to do back here, right? I'm going to read
Hmm.
it one more time for the peeps. According to a time traveler from the year 2070 named Noah, what function do the microchips embedded in every time traveler perform? A, that it pays for things without money. B, tracks their movements. C, records videos of their travels. Or D, limits their speech so they don't create a time paradox.
Well, I would say the last one just because it's so out there.
Right? Right? It
Yeah.
is. It is. Actually, they're saying that uh, they are limited in their speech so they don't create a time paradox, which is crazy because sometimes they come back talking the most insane shit, right?
Yeah.
Hmm. I don't know. Thank you, Judy's pissed. She cash apped a donation. She says for conspiracy cash. I like that. Conspiracy cash.
I better hit thumbs up on our own video.
Yeah, wouldn't that be great? I was gonna hit thumbs up, but I thought, geez, if I'm on video, actually thumbsing my own video up, that might
So hold that
right.
thumb
I'll
proud.
do it later.
Hold that thumb proud.
That's crazy,
Do it like a boss.
right? Like I don't give a shit. Okay. So how long? We'll be on here for 83 minutes. You got a little more time, Tyler? Or
What
you?
time is it? Yeah. I
I know you got places
I'm
to
leaving
go.
at 7 a.m. To head out of town, and I haven't even started packing yet. But
Oh, good lord.
it doesn't make me long.
You're a
Take me long to
dude.
pack.
Like you shove shit in a backpack and go, right?
Listen, I got this.
Right? You would hate to see me pack. Look at you all tone loked, right?
Uh,
Gangsta, the gangsta
how has it?
glasses.
Have we really been on that long? Holy cow!
Yeah, 83 minutes.
It's funny. It's so relaxed. It's this is so different doing this compared to
I
the podcast. I feel like this is just a hangout compared to a show that we're hosting and interviewing. That takes a lot more energy for some reason. And it's just I can feel like we've been going for a while, but here it just seems like time flies.
yeah, I like just I like just getting on here, and it's kind of like whatever, you know. Like I might start coming on here and just hanging out with the peeps, or like, doing AMAs or digging up, you know,
Yeah.
like digs on request, like let's go research something, guys, or
Yeah.
whatever.
No, this is cool.
Oh,
Uh,
our cloaked unseen world says I missed his super chat message. Did you see it, Tyler? Oh, here it is.
I didn't see it. No,
Oh,
I don't even
he
know.
says,
Oh, there it
"Yep, here
is.
we go. We are indoctrinated to do bad thinking. We do good and do bad, then due to no fault of their own, deceived by devices created to deceive our eyes, ears, and minds. Yes, we are definitely deceived and manipulated at every turn, man. At every turn. Like, I mean, some of the things that we hold, there are probably so many assumptions that we don't even question, that we don't even know to think that aren't true, that are just completely out there.
Hmm.
Just completely gone.
I
Like,
would have I would have bet money. I would have never guessed that somebody actually tried to freaking develop a real gaydar.
I know, right? Who
I
knew?
mean,
I
you just like
I thought it was a joke.
I would have argued the secret space program is real over a gaydar device. You know?
Right? If that there you go, learn something new every day. I mean, if that and then they don't talk about it. Like, I mean, if that hadn't have been on a if that hadn't have been a question in this crazy ass game, I never would have ever looked for that or even thought about it. Like, it never would have crossed my mind. I can't imagine what else they've done.
Yeah. Somebody says, please keep doing this show. We'd love it. Thank you
Aw,
guys. I needed this
yes.
so much. Of
Thank
course.
you.
We'll keep doing
We
this.
are
It's easy.
on it, right?
Um,
I see Debbie donated again. Thank you, Debbie. She's the best. Shout out. I gotta make some mods, but I want to just shout out to Debbie Roush, man. She is on every channel, modding for every person, all the time, and I just want to say thank you to you.
well, it's not, we need a recruiter for our channel. I don't think she's a mod for us.
Oh, Debbie. Like, I mean, literally, like, I don't know, like, probably at least 10 different channels I see her modding on. I'm like, how in the hell do you do that? Like, and just knows, like, all the information.
So do you get to see all the chats at once?
Hell no. You see the screen, like, this is literally what I'm looking at. My restream, like, I don't know. Alara says that it's supposed to pull up somewhere, and yeah, I don't know. I don't want to click anything, and then it's freaking curtains. So no, I just kind of got to click between here.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, it didn't even
I
go
no,
up
I got
on
you.
freaking Rockfin, but that's all right. Foxhole never wants to load for me. Let me go see what the Foxhole fam is doing.
Yeah, I'm curious.
You're determined to find that shit in that book.
This book, let me tell you, I've talked about this book a million times on the show, but
Is that the one
um,
you kept grabbing when we were live the other day? Oh no, no, I am totally curious about the whole Serpo thing.
let me read the back of the book so you know what this is
Read the
about.
back of the book to me.
On July 16th, 1965, a massive alien spacecraft from Zeta Reticuli star system landed at a Nevada test site north of Las Vegas. Following a plan set in motion by President Kennedy in 1962, the alien visitors, known as the Ebens, welcomed 12 astronaut trained military personnel aboard their craft for the 10-month journey to their home, planet Serpo, 39 light years away. In November 2005, former and current members of defense of the DIA, directed by Kennedy to organize the Serpo exchange program, came forward to reveal the operation, including details from the 3,000-page debriefing of the 7 members of the Serpo team who returned after the 13 years on the planet. Working with the DIA, originators of the Serpo project, and the diary kept by the expedition's commanding officer Len Caston chronicles a complete journey of these cosmic pioneers, including their remarkable stories of life on an alien planet, superluminal space travel, and advanced knowledge of alien technologies. He reveals how the Evans presented to the United States with the Yellow Book, a complete history of the universe recorded holographically, allowing the reader to view actual scenes from prehistory to the present. He explains how the Evans helped us reverse engineer their anti gravity spacecraft and develop technology to solve our planet wide energy problems. Knowledge still classified, exposing the truth, blah, blah, blah.
So are the
Anyway,
Ebens cool? I thought they were like, I thought they were a shady group. Are they not a shady group?
They're shady, but they're transparent. They can't lie about anything, so they can't do anything behind your back. They tell you exactly what they're doing when they went to the
That would
planet.
not go over well
So,
here.
so by the way, this 12 astronauts leave to go to this planet,
One,
and
thank you, Mrs. Lizard Breath. She donated again. Much love.
so this is in 1965 or 62, in the 60s. Anyway, Kennedy was aware of this. This was not some black budget program. Like, this was like in the government program. 12 astronauts were going to spend 10 years on this planet. And this is where the plot from the movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind comes
Now
from.
I had heard that.
Yeah. So the end of that movie is like directly depicting the scene when these 12 astronauts leave. And but this doesn't just talk about that. So you get the diary, you get the actual log, these guys, you get to read the journal of what they were journaling while they're on this planet, what the day-to-day life was there. There's two suns. Time was all screwed up. They couldn't even keep time. They didn't know how to do it. They lost track of time. They thought they were there for 10 years. They actually were there for 13 years. um, they had a massive cloning facility on this planet that they were literally abducting creatures and people from planets all over the universe and bringing them back and cloning them and doing genetic experiments, even humans. And they were like shown around this cloning facility. This was back in the 60s, but they had like a lot of our technology came directly from this planet. But they go all the way back and they start in the 1800s and talk about the reptilian agenda. They first, what they do is bring you, they help you understand how we got to a point where we could even go travel and spend 10 years on another planet. So they give you all this backstory of literally starting in the late 1800s, and what was the real motive behind what Hitler was doing, and the World War II, and the Germans going to Antarctica and developing a secret space program. And they give you the history of everything. They talk about the presidents. They talk about all kinds of stuff that brings you all the way up into the 60s to where they leave. And it's an incredible book.
That's great. Mel Tulip was saying, "What's the book? Show them that again."
Secret Journey to Planet Serpo, a true story of interplanetary travel. Len Caston.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
It's
crazy.
this book is it's a gem. I swear there's so much information in this book.
I bet.
They talk about
There's that, and there's a book Dr. Sala had put out not too long ago that I wanted to read.
yeah.
I don't know if that's the one you kept grabbing last time we were on here. I have a list
Um
of books.
I
It's
was grabbing
ridiculous.
no last that was a gift from the stars, Elena Danan's book.
Maybe I'm
This that
thinking of Germaine. Germaine was the one that kept grabbing it.
Yeah,
I want to read that.
I actually have, I probably have that book he's talking about. This is another good one. It's okay. It's like great parts, and then some parts are just kind of redundant. But uh, Rebel Gene, Secret Space, and the Future of Humanity, Carrie Cassidy's book. So Rebel Gene is apparently the gene that they, so Enlil and Enki, the Anunnaki
Yes.
the brothers, the one like wanted to enslave humanity, the other one wanted
Hmm.
to the best for us. So they each had their own human project, their own human genetic program going. They had separate programs. So the one brother turned off what she calls the rebel gene, and some of us have the rebel gene, which means that eventually we're the ones who awaken.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
Because
I'm pretty sure that if somebody has a rebel gene,
yeah,
yeah,
they call it the rebel
it's
gene
gonna be
because
us.
it's basically like if you look around and you see people who just don't get it and you can't comprehend, like, how does this person not see that they're being played by the government and everything's an agenda? And because they might actually not have that in their DNA, is what her theory is.
Well, that would make a lot of sense. I mean,
Yeah.
like at some point, and I don't know who I heard talking about. At some point, you can't wake everybody up. You can try, but at some point, we've just got to accept like there are just going to be people that are never going to hear it.
Mhm.
That are never going to hear
Exactly.
it. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter how many podcasts we do or how many people we try to red pill. Like at some point, it's
Yeah.
curtains.
Hmm.
It's curtains.
Um,
Oh boy. Well, let me do this. Guys,
what's the
if
name of this book? Sorry, people are asking.
yeah,
And
oh,
that was Rebel Gene, Secret Space, and the Future of Humanity by Carrie Cassidy.
I wonder if it's on Scribed. I don't know. Are you familiar with Scribed? It's like, I don't know, it's like Netflix for books. It's my shit. Everything is on there. All the magazines, anything you ever want to read, like I go on there all the time. That is where I do all my reading. I wonder if they've got their stuff on there.
Mm-hmm. Maybe I don't know.
Well, let me shout out, guys, if you like the content, if you want to support me, Space Force News, 1 Foot in 5D, go over to beardvet.com. Yeah, it's beards, right? You need to have a manly beard if you're going to have one. If you're going to have one, right? You want it to be as manly as humanly freaking possible. If you're going to eat some steak, you want it to taste delicious, right? If you're going to wash yourself up, you might as well use some good soap. Get you some good coffee. You can go over to beardvet.com, use promo code SFN at checkout. You get 10% off. It's $35 or more. You get free shipping, and they donate every month to a veteran, to a charity for veterans. I mean, you can't freaking beat that. So check that out.
And you get a mustache like this if you drink
Every time I look up, you got some shit going on, man.
it.
Uh,
Oh
what is up?
man.
Questioner says, questioner on Foxhole says, as a gay man, where'd he go? As a gay man, his gaydar is between his legs.
Yes,
Right? Right?
that's amazing.
That was freaking funny.
That's I guess that's a true test, right?
Right? Oh, hello, Blue. I see Blue is in the chat. Um, well, guys, this has been fun. This has been fun. I like hanging out like this, Tyler. We got next Friday, what, 8 o'clock? We'll be back.
Same time.
Same time,
Yeah.
same place. Do you
Um,
have anything you want to promote? What are you guys doing this week?
Nothing. We're off this week.
Oh, wow, look at that. That was simple.
We
Go over and
haven't
check
we
out the Journey to Truth channel. I'm sure you guys are all already on the Journey to Truth channel, but in the event that you're not, you need to go there. They do awesome
um
interviews.
I will say follow us on Telegram and Instagram. We're not in Facebook if you want, but we're kind of small there. We're small everywhere because we had to start over everywhere because we got shut down everywhere. So
Imagine that.
we're trying to rebuild our social media following. And so if you want to follow us on Telegram or Instagram, that's where we do most of our posting. Uh, so that helps.
Right? I'm gonna
Subscribe
get
to
the
our channel
links.
if you want. Yeah.
I'm gonna get the links from you, and I'm gonna put them in the description below since we had to move
Yeah.
everything. Sorry about that, guys. I'm gonna get this figured out for next time. I hope it'll be just
Yeah.
smooth, right?
And
Smooth as a baby's bottom.
we don't have anything planned for next week, just because of traveling reasons. But honestly, huh, if you go back and look, I was looking the other day. I'm like, we have not had a week off. We haven't taken a week off forever, like almost ever. Like we've just been doing this consistently
It's
for so
so
long.
hard
And but
sometimes.
it kind of becomes like a, I don't know, it's like weird when you're not doing it, right? But we might throw up a video or something this week, just to put out something. I have a few things in mind, but if not, we'll be back the following week. And you just have to wait because we need a break too.
I know, right? I also want to thank Big Hair Tsunami. I see that you had something come through today. Much love if you're watching. I appreciate you.
Yeah,
Um,
the tsunami comes through.
yeah, the tsunami came through. Thank you to everybody that donated. Thank you to the mods in the chats. You guys are great. Oh, Sunday night. Tyler, I'm done with you, man. I am not a cat. I am not a
You're
cat.
Lyran. I'm a Lyran starseed.
Is that the one that the lawyer got stuck with? No,
The
he had a
lawyer.
whole cat face. Do you remember that? He was like, Judge, I'm here. I'm alive. I am not a cat. Oh my God, tell me you haven't seen that. It was fucking hysterical.
I don't know actually.
This dude was in a Zoom call, right? I mean, he was an old guy, and he had a court hearing, and it was a freaking Zoom call. And for some reason, he didn't know how to turn. Somebody had turned a cat face on a Zoom call. He didn't know how to turn it off, and the judge is
Uh,
looking at him like, bro, are you high? And he's like, no, judge,
yes,
I am here. I am not a
I did.
cat.
That's amazing.
Right? Like the
I
you.
would. I absolutely love that.
Oh, it was hysterical. It was hysterical.
These are all fun.
Oh my God, what the hell is that? Is that supposed to be a pig?
Big,
It
big man.
looks like a pig bat thing.
I like the mask one. I don't like.
I mean, that's about as close as we're gonna
Yeah,
get to wearing masks around here,
yeah.
right? Fake ass Zoom call masks.
Um. Anyway, yeah, this was a lot of fun.
All right, check us out Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Yeah, Space Force News on YouTube's 1 Foot in 5D. And much love, you guys. We'll see you next time.
Good night, guys.